Next, whenever we're specifically on our watch list, we're not going to want to show that this movie is in their watch list. Instead, we're going to want to add the ability to mark a movie as watched. I'm going to add that elsewhere as well, but primarily it would be good to have it in here since we won't have that in your watch list button. So let's go ahead and get back into our text editor, and we're going to want to jump into our card component. So let's scroll back down to our movie card. We are still going to need movie.watchlist populated in order to determine if the movie's been watched for our watch list page, but we're not going to want this actual button to show. So since we're only going to add in the actual is a movie watch toggle on our watch list page, what we can do is an if slots.action. If we have an action slot, then we can go ahead and render that out. So slots.action, and then switch this to an else if. And that will allow us to essentially take this form and move it out into our watch list page, since this is the one and only page that we're going to want this form to be on. We can then change our movie card from a self-closing component to a normal one, end it, and then inside of here, we can do an at slot action, end the slot, and paste this form in. To make things a little bit easier, we can also grab the first watch list item and call that watch list. So we'll do at let watch list equals movie.watchlist at 0 to grab the item at the 0 index. Our ternary here for our button text would then switch to watchlist.watched at. So if we have a watched at value, then that means that the movie was watched. So for our text, we can then say mark as unwatched or something of the sort. And then if the movie has not been watched, then we'll say something like mark as watched. And right now we don't have a route for this actual toggle, so let's go create that next. Before we do, let's just make sure everything's rendering out okay on our page. Cool. So we have marked as watched because we don't have any marked as watched. Let's jump back into our routes file. We've already defined a handler for this. We just haven't actually done anything with the handler. So we'll do router.host watchlists movie ID and toggle watched. Specify that we want to handle this with our watchlist controller and the toggle watched method as watchlists toggle.watched. Give that a save and it'll probably break it down. Yep. And let's go ahead and jump into our watchlist controller and handle that real quick. So scroll on down to our toggle watch method. We're going to want our response, params, and auth. And first thing we're going to want to do is grab our watch list. So we'll do const watch list equals await watchlist dot query where, and we can scroll up here and grab our user and movie ID and paste that in down here where movie ID and user ID and grab just the first item. Now, if we're within this method, we should actually already have a watch list item. So we could do first or fail here so that we get a 404 error if the watch list item cannot actually be found. So then with that watch list, we just want to do an if watchlist.watched at. So if there's a value for watched at, then we just want to clear that out. So watchlist.watched at now equals null. Otherwise, watchlist.watch at equals date, time, import that from Luxon, .now. Then we'll just await, watchlist, save, and return, response, redirect, right on back. Jump back into our watchlist page. And now instead of watchlist.toggle, we want a watchlist.toggle.watched. Param should be the same, so we can leave that as is. Give that a save. Just jump back into our browser and let's give it a test. So let's marked as watched a movie. Cool, so now our text says marked as unwatched. We can click it again. It's back to marked as watched. Click it again, back to unwatched. Awesome. Do that one there as well. And this one. Cool. So everything does seem to be working there a-okay. Now, if you would like some extra homework with this, go ahead and try adding in an additional filter specifically for the watch list page that allows you to limit to either movies that are watched or unwatched for an authenticated user. Before we round out this lesson though, we do need to add in our middleware. So if we jump back into our routes, right now we don't have any middleware applied to our watch lists. For all three of these, really we just want the user to be authenticated in order to perform these actions. So we could individually add the middleware one by one to each of these, or we could create a router.group, move these three routes into that group. And we do have a variation with our prefix, so we'll leave that off because this one's watch list singular and this one's watch list plural and this one's watch list plural. So we'll leave prefix off and instead just do as watch lists and then use middleware.auth to ensure we have an authenticated user in order to be able to use these routes. And then since we have as watch list as a name prefix for the group, we can remove watch list from the name here. Give it a save, jump back into our browser real quick, just make sure everything works. Looks good there. Do our filter of S there, and awesome. Everything still seems to be working a-okay.